Yeah, yeah, everyone. This is Thermite, and this is my reaction to Zetman, Volume 5. Quick heads up, sorry about Volume 4's weird sound quality thing. I can't say it's not going to happen again. I've been having some weird audio problems. So let's just record this, and at the end I'm going to listen to it, and if I'm having the same problem, it's going to be a while until Zetman Volume 6 as I figure out what in the world is happening. But hopefully I think I fixed it. I've reset everything. I turned my computer on and off again. I turned everything on and off again, so hopefully this will work. Man, I really do love the colors in Zetman. Like, this wall is so, it's so multicolored when it doesn't need to be, and her hair is not what I expected it to look like. It's vaguely unnatural, but I don't think, that's unnatural in universe. I think it's just, I wasn't expecting manga hair in a series like this. Especially with with all of volume 1 being like Jin and Grandpa, and Jin was very much normal ordinary Japanese boy looks, and Grandpa was very just old man. I still love how Koga, he never uses the an illogical explanation for things. He always tries to explain things with within the realm of science as he knows it. I love that so much because he's wrong, but he's wrong in an instance where it would be stranger if he was right. It makes more sense that he would, do things logically with a normal human's knowledge and get to a wrong conclusion than, make leaps of logic in order to catch up with the plots. Okay, so I don't think he's going to lie to Koga. I think whatever we're about to see is completely 100% true. It's just the way that he talks about it is going to be wrong. Or not wrong, but, skewed. It could even be 100% correct. Who knows? A perfect human net. Okay. Okay, so I assume that net is what people are talking about when it's not just players. Net is the broad term, and then the players are the ones who have gone rogue. And then Jin, for instance, being Zets would also be a net. But he's a more put together net than the players. Or even if you have the players, then the ones who at the bar, and then you have Jin who's above those, they would all still be nets. Okay, good to know. I love the way that they did this this flashback. Just everything is cleaner and he's a bit younger. But it's, oh man, that is so cool. Okay. So yeah, Kirishima is not grandpa. Or I mean Kanzaki is grandpa. This is grandpa Amagi. Kirishima is not Amagi, nor is he Kanzaki. Okay, so we will see him eventually. Good to know. Okay, this is a really interesting metaphor. I've never seen someone explain something like this, which is strange because cigarettes and a bigger cigarettes are something I would immediately think of as being densely packed together. There's toothpicks, but there's not a whole lot else I could think of immediately for this type of metaphor. I know this is a very specific metaphor, but I feel there are multiple things you could explain like this. But yeah, I think this is pretty cool. The idea of okay, everyone tried to make the cigarettes bigger. I thought of increasing the cigarettes, which explains how the players work. You've got the humans, they have human DNA, but for some reason that doesn't work. It leaves them unstable. So by just shoving in more DNA or shoving in more abilities, then they're able to be more stable. They're still not perfectly stable, but they're more stable than the previous concepts. That's pretty cool. I am so interested in this person, whoever they are. Ah, I mean, that paranoia makes a lot of sense, just, Kabe. Oh, I know who this is. Kabe's that, he's a lot older now, obviously. But he's that guy who was going to tell that other scientist, hey, do you want to take over the company once the Amagis don't run AmbiGuCorp? Oh, it's so visceral because it's so normal. That's the thing. There's nothing wrong. It's not there's nothing wrong. There's nothing supernatural about this. And I can relate especially to this because it was only last year, I think, that I really started liking oranges. I found the specific type of orange I really like. So, I can relate so deeply to this. Also, I've been hit by a car, so this is just hitting me so hard. Okay, who's this third party then? Yeah, because for a minute I thought it was him, but no. Like, they were also shots. Hmm. So I didn't really think about the name player, but this makes sense. Like, they are literally, like, toys. They are being used to play a game. Initially I thought, oh, maybe they're, like, playing their own game to, like, wipe out humanity or something. But okay, I think I get it now. Oh, that's a pretty legit, not story, but, like, a piece of evidence I think he's going to take into the future. This is, oh, man. Oh my god. They just left them there with the corpse of his son. What? Oh, that is awful. Like, keep in mind, they had to have just, like, abandoned all of this equipment just for the sake of spiting this one guy whose only fault was basically just being moral. Wow. And again, yeah, because he was a vegetable, they just took him off life support and stuck him down here. God damn. This is cruelty beyond cruelty. And I like that they didn't sign it, so it could have been Grandpa Amagi, or it could have been, what was his name? What was his name? Mr. Kabe, that's right. Okay, so that's why he changed. He didn't intentionally modify himself, but by trying to modify his son and like swapping blood, this happens. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Like, I don't agree with Koga in a lot of situations, but I definitely agree with this. Especially for a grieving father. He killed all of those girls as if they were nothing, just for the sake of, like, I don't even know, like blackmail, I guess? Or like creating some sort of weird porno? Okay, finally, we get to see what the third party is up to. Oof, instant double cross, too. Okay, so it's a dead man's trigger. So as soon as he was shot, this activated, and it's gonna blow up everything. Or not. Okay, so it's like, I guess it's gonna happen over some time. It's gonna blow up part of it, and then it's gonna, like, make its way down, perhaps. But in the end, yeah, that is ridiculous. Oh god. Fooled by Amagi, used by Amagi, and killed by Amagi. That is so cruel. Every time something like that happens in fiction, it hurts me so much. That is, oh. Why? For what purpose? I don't think she deserves this at all. The bullies, maybe, not even. I mean, they don't deserve to die, definitely not. They're just kids. They don't know that much better. But I firmly believe that, like, schoolgirl prostitution in Japan, if it is not being coerced, it's completely okay. As long as she was doing it of her own free will, and she wasn't, like, blackmailing guys or anything. As long as it was all consensual, I don't see the problem with it. I think it's much more moral than, like, bullying or physical abuse. And you know what? Even if she was forced into it, if someone else was forcing her into it, then that's not her sin either. She's a victim. It's only her sin if she was doing it, and then she also did something, like, bad on top of that. Okay, we're finally going to see what they were doing with this. See, before I learned all this stuff about the actual grudge towards Amagi Corp, I assumed it was just some sort of, like, weird, like, sex video that was going to be, like, released underground. Oh, man. This is so messed up. Like, this is actually the worst thing. This actually happened really recently. Let me look this up quickly. But there's this thing called deepfakes. Where, okay, yeah, like people have been talking about it a lot ever since Reddit banned this community. But basically, the idea is that you can get like a photo set of just a person, like a celebrity or whatnot. You can get a bunch of like their photos and like from a bunch of different angles, and then you can use that to like map their face onto someone else's face. And you can do a lot of like stuff like that. Like a lot of people have been like putting Nicolas Cage on like weird people in order to make like memes and whatnot. But a lot of this is like other stuff. Like especially the porn stuff is this really weird thing where like it's legal to look like a celebrity and like not impersonate them, like make porn that is kind of like them. But this is completely different because it's almost impossible to tell the difference between like, oh, is that really the person, or is it like just someone using digital technology. I mean, it's not impossible right now. Right now, they still have some clear problems. Like, there's no like for instance, there's no collision detection. So if a girl is like, you know, how do I put this? Like, basically, if her face is pressing up on any part of another person or just an object or whatever, it'll like bug out and it won't work. Or even if she moves her head very quickly, like a lot of the time, it like even with a lot of rendering, they still can't quite match every single angle, and so things look really wonky. So it's not perfect right now, but we can do some crazy stuff. Like this is one thing that came out quite a few years ago, and it still looks like almost perfect to me. Like, look at that. I mean, like that is almost perfect. And yeah, it's only for a split second, but that's all you need in order to then like put out a video saying, "Oh, look, Obama kicked this door open." It's so easy to do stuff like this now. Like even the deepfake stuff is surprisingly easy to do. Like it just takes a lot of processing power. And this like in the world of Zetman, you have to like clone you have to clone a famous person and like set up this whole elaborate thing. In our world right now, you could do basically that and ruin their entire lives without having to use the person at all. Because like all you really need in real life is to just like find someone who looks like him and then just map his face on. And if you have good enough technology, it would look perfect. Okay. Okay, so it's I forgot the name of his son, but yeah, it's the scientist's son using the bug in order to not control him, but to just like override everything in his body so that he can do all sorts of like superhuman stuff basically. Like he can ignore the pain he's in, and he can he's probably stronger than he was normally, but he's still letting Koga have complete control. He's not like forcing it to say anything. Ah, yeah, he's using the bug to stop him from shooting. Seriously, he is one of yeah, he's one of the most interesting characters in this entire part right now. Because like he's gone from being someone who would, do basically horrible things to someone who is fighting for justice so thoroughly. Ah, and even there he's at the very least he can spare a thank you. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think his heart's gonna flatline. You're saying this in part because you want him to stop, right? Koga's body will endure. That's what I think. That level of faith. I've got to believe in him too. We all have to believe in Koga right now. Yeah, okay, Ichiro. I need to remember that. Ichiro. Because I know he's gonna die now. I'm certain he's not gonna make it out of this alive. But he's gonna go down as one of my favorites in part 2. He shot his son. His son is dead and or dying, and at that very moment, the bug stopped working on Koga. I don't think Koga's going to be able to move from this spot, basically. I think he's done. GG. Oh my god. Okay, look at this. Look at this right now. Oh my god. Like, it doesn't quite line up because the subgroup is not the best. Or this translation group. But this is such a genius concept. Like, I've only ever seen this kind of thing in, Korean manhwa. Or, I mean, webtoons. Like, oh my god. I think this works even better, like, digitally than it would in the physical. Like, I'm sure it's amazing even in the physical. But the fact that that it feels like you're just watching it. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So genius. I love it. Also, I like the actual concept of this. Like, that basically love is what is causing him to reawaken. He can't die here. He has to keep going. I don't think he can, though. I feel like what can you do? At the very least, he's going to get them off of this crumbling floor, right? Oh, oh my god, right on his arm, too. Oh, come on, Koga. Oh no, they're dead. This is it, this is it. Okay, okay, this is good. That's fine. Like, all of his effort was able to just keep him up there. They're away from, the crumbling grounds, and they're right in the field of vision of these guys. Damn, Koga, you did good. You did good. Oh my gosh, what a sad scene. Like, we finally get this to play out the way it should have. No car, they're just able to meet up again. But all of this really happens. It can only happen once they've already, like, used up their lives, now that they're both dead. And it looks like Omega Corp's going to take good care of him. Alright, so that was... Let me go back here. Zetman, Volume 5. He didn't actually get the sword, right? But he's still... Like, this is basically how he looked by the end of it. My god, what a good volume. I am so happy. I don't want to talk much more about this because I need to check this recording to see if it turned out okay, so catch you all later. Bye-bye for now. Nya nya.